Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Today is an incredibly exciting day for me. It's the first cook on our brand new grill, the Dynaglow 32-inch charcoal grill. We're going to do it upright. Today we are putting another episode in our Wide World of Food collection. Today we're making Chilean steaks with pepper sauce. Now, when you hear about barbecue in South America, Brazil and Argentina gets all the press. But Chile has some pretty good recipes also. Fantastic cuisine. Chile is the southernmost country in the entire world. It is in South America, on the western side of South America. It is the closest country to Antarctica. As you well know, got their independence from Spain in 1818. Population of about 18.5 million people. Their biggest export is copper, which makes up 20% of their gross national product and about 60% of their exports. Now, they export food also. They are one of the top 5 exporters in the world of cherries and blueberries, and then there are many other fruits and nuts that they're in the top 10 for. But we're not worried about that. Today, we're making steak. So let's get it going. First thing we're going to do is get our sauce prepped. So I'm going to take a couple of Roma tomatoes and get the pulp out of them, roughly chop them, and chuck them into the food processor. I chose Romas because they don't have very much pulp. All right, go get that pulp rinsed out at the sink, a little scoop of the finger, and we're moving on. All right, got the pulp out of the tomatoes. Now I'm just going to basically quarter these halves, which I guess is eighthing, and into the food processor. Now I'm going to take 1 poblano pepper. We've talked about this in previous episodes. If you see some red in there, then it's going to be a bit spicy. If it's all dark green, it's going to be much more on the mild side. That's the way the girls like it, so that's the way we're doing it. But you can control the heat of your sauce by picking the right poblano. All we're going to do is de-stem and de-seed this, rough chop it, and chuck it in the food processor. All right, de-stem, de-seeded. Just give it a rough chop. If you have a seed or two, it's not going to be the end of the world. Also, with our tomato and poblano, we're going to chuck in a couple of green onions. And then we're going to rough chop those and chuck them in the food processor. In the food processor, we're going to give it just a couple of pulses. Of course, you have to plug it in first. All right, I'm happy with that. That mixture goes into a large bowl now. To our mixture, we're going to add about a half a cup of chopped cilantro. So I got 1 bundle here. That goes in, along with the juice of 1 lemon. A half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. And a good healthy pinch of salt and pepper. Gonna mix all that up, and then I'm gonna chuck it in the fridge. So sort of like the Chilean version of chimichurri is what this is. Which if you've ever had chimichurri with your steak, you know it's marvelous. Then we'll move on to the steak. See you then. All right, here we are out at the brand new grill. I have a chimney filled with cowboy lump charcoal because I know what the hell I'm doing. So we're gonna get that lit and give these about 20 minutes to get good and hot for us. All right, there we go. Now back inside to get those steaks seasoned. Now as our charcoal is getting ready, I had some zucchini in the refrigerator, and this is a great time to test those dual cooking zones of the new grill. So I took the zucchini, cut it in planks, added some flavored olive oil to it, a little bit of wild mushroom and sage, and a little bit of black pepper flavored. Then I added some chipotle flakes, shh, don't tell the girls, a little bit of French fry seasoning, believe it or not, and some Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. So I have these sitting here in that. Our steaks. Today we are cooking with skirt steaks, okay? These are very, very thin, as you can see. And the key is to cook them not past medium rare, number 1, And number two, these are really easy. You can see that the grain is going this way through the whole thing. When we cut it, we're going to cut it against the grain. Those two things are going to give us a good tender steak. If you cut with the grain, then it's going to be a bit chewy. You don't want that. So, need to get these seasoned. Wash the paws real quick and we'll start seasoning. So really, the Chilean part of these Chilean steaks with pepper sauce is the pepper sauce. It's basically Chile's take on chimichurri. This seasoning is going to be pretty simple. We're going to go with some salt and pepper, and we're not going to go heavy because you saw how thin these are. So go with the clean hand, dirty hand. A little bit of salt and pepper. Then a little bit of garlic powder. All right, the coals have been going for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to open up this side, which I have the charcoal basket all the way up to the top, where we're going to cook our steaks, and I'm going to pour about 3/4 of this in there. Get them spread out with the tongs there. Get that plate back on. Now on the other side, I already have some charcoal in there. We're going to put the rest of the coals on top of it to get those started. Get that spread out. Get our grill grate back on. And that's set. Yep, that's set at the lowest right there. There's a divider plate in the middle that allegedly keeps the heat from mixing. We'll see about that. And we'll use our handy dandy grill rescue brush here to get the charcoal remnants off the top of our grill grates. There we go, looking good. This is the first time we use it, so I'm going to give them an initial spray right now, and then we'll spray them again right before we start cooking. Well, let's get it cooking. So first of all, we're going to spray our grates one more time. And then because this side has the charcoal lower, it's cooking at a lower temperature, I'm going to get the zucchini on first. Those thin steaks aren't going to take long to cook at all. All right, let's get the steaks on. We're going to cook them 3 minutes per side. Oh, getting that good sizzle sound. Putting that thickest one in the middle there so it gets the most heat. There we go. Things are looking gorgeous. And I'm not just talking about the director walking around out here. Alrighty, it's been 3 minutes. Things are smelling wonderful. Let's get these a flip. Looking good. All right, that fine steak has been resting for 10 minutes. Let's get some plated up and see what the director says. Smelling great. Okay, as I said before, really easy with the grain. It's going this way, so we need to cut against it. So I'm going to cut it in half first. Look at that. I got just what we wanted. Then we're going to cut it against the grain so it's good and tender. Making those fibers shorter, like the director.
Danger, danger.
She was cut against the grain. She's watching me right now.
Danger, danger.
Just in case she doesn't like the pepper sauce, we're going to put it off to the side instead of making it pretty and right down the middle. All right, here we go, the moment of truth. She has some pepper sauce. She has some meat. Is it the best Chilean steak with pepper sauce you've ever had?
Yes.
Okay. Is it good?
Yes.
Fantastic. What do you think of the pepper sauce? That's fine if you don't like it.
I'm not a fan because it's very minty, very cilantro-y. But it's refreshing. It's
Okay.
maybe it's just cilantro.
So you like the steak. I love that pepper sauce, but I'm a big fan of chimichurri. She isn't, so I understand it. The zucchini good too?
That's wonderful.
All right, there you go. So, Chilean steak. Hey, Don't put your pepper sauce on it in case anybody has, doesn't like that kind of stuff, like the director. To me, it's delicious. So you'll want to give this a try. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.